Emerson Bennett had always been a man of contradictions. By day, he wore the mask of an accomplished corporate lawyer, navigating the cutthroat world of big city law firms. By night, he grappled with the loneliness that came from shallow friendships and a demeaning family. His life was a carefully constructed facade, and as the years passed, the weight of it became unbearable. One gray November morning, Emerson woke with a clarity he hadn't felt in years. He decided he could no longer endure the falsity of his existence. He craved authenticity, simplicity, and a life unbound by societal expectations. As he sipped his coffee and watched the sunrise from his apartment window, the decision crystallized in his mind. He would leave everything behind. Emerson packed a sturdy backpack with essentials, a few changes of clothes, a compact sleeping bag, basic toiletries, a map, and a small first aid kit. He added a weather journal and a camera, gifts from his late grandfather who had always encouraged him to explore the world. With a final glance at his apartment, he left the keys on the kitchen counter and walked out the door, feeling lighter with each step. The train station buzzed with activity, but Emerson moved through it with a serene detachment. He bought a one-way ticket to a small town far from the city's noise and boarded the train. As the urban sprawl gave way to rolling hills and open fields, he felt the tension in his body ease. He watched the scenery pass by, each mile taking him further from the life he no longer wanted. When the train reached its destination, Emerson disembarked, his heart pounding with anticipation. The town was quaint, nestled between mountains and a winding river. He spent the night in a modest inn, and the following morning, he set out on foot, following a trail that led into the wilderness. Days turned into weeks, and Emerson's journey took him through forests, across plains, and over mountains. He hitchhiked when he could, accepting rides from kind-hearted strangers who shared stories of their own travels. He rode freight trains, feeling the wind on his face as he clung to the sides of boxcars. The open road became his home, and he reveled in the freedom it offered. In the evenings, he would find a quiet spot to set up camp, his surroundings varying from dense woods to serene lakesides. He would build a small fire, cook a simple meal, and write in his journal, documenting his thoughts and the day's adventures. He captured the beauty of his journey through the lens of his camera, each photograph a testament to his newfound freedom. One crisp morning, Emerson found himself in a picturesque valley surrounded by towering peaks. The air was clear, and the sound of a nearby stream provided a soothing backdrop. As he walked along the trail, he encountered a fellow traveler, a woman named Sarah. She was in her late 20s, with a contagious enthusiasm for life that immediately drew Emerson in. They struck up a conversation and soon discovered they shared similar reasons for their nomadic lifestyles. Sarah had left behind a stifling corporate job and a controlling family, seeking solace in nature and the open road. They decided to travel together for a while, finding companionship in their shared journey. Together, they explored hidden trails, stumbled upon forgotten ruins, and marveled at the natural wonders they encountered. They swapped stories, laughed around campfires, and supported each other through the inevitable challenges of life on the road. For the first time in his 34 years, Emerson felt truly connected to another person, free from the pretenses that had defined his past relationships. As the months passed, Emerson and Sarah made their way through various states, each day bringing new experiences and deeper connections with the people they met. They volunteered at small farms, traded labor for food and shelter, and immersed themselves in the local cultures. Emerson's journal filled with vivid descriptions of their journey, while his camera captured the essence of the places they visited and the people they encountered. One day, as they sat atop a cliff overlooking a vast desert landscape, Sarah turned to Emerson with a thoughtful expression. "Do you ever think about what comes next?" she asked. Emerson gazed at the horizon, contemplating her question. "I used to worry about the future all the time," he replied. "But now, I'm more focused on living in the present. I don't have a plan, and that's okay. I just want to keep exploring, learning, and growing." Sarah smiled, her eyes reflecting the setting sun. "Me too. It's like we've finally found our true selves out here, away from all the noise and expectations." Their journey continued, taking them to remote villages, bustling towns, and everything in between. They faced harsh weather, navigated treacherous terrain, and dealt with the occasional bout of homesickness. Yet, through it all, Emerson remained resolute in his decision. He had discovered a sense of peace and fulfillment that he had never known before. Eventually, Emerson and Sarah reached the Pacific coast, where they spent their days exploring tide pools, hiking along rugged cliffs, and watching the waves crash against the shore. One evening, as they sat by a campfire, Emerson reflected on how far he had come. "I used to think that running away was a sign of weakness," he said. "But now I realize it was the bravest thing I've ever done. I've learned more about myself and the world in these past few months than I did in all my years of living a conventional life." Sarah nodded in agreement. "It's not about running away, it's about running towards something better. We've chosen a path that's true to who we are, and that's all that matters." As the fire crackled and the stars twinkled above, Emerson felt a profound sense of gratitude. He had walked away from a life that no longer served him and embraced a journey that brought him true happiness. The shallow friendships and demeaning family were distant memories, replaced by meaningful connections and a newfound sense of purpose. Emerson and Sarah continued their travels, always moving forward, always seeking the next adventure. They knew that the road ahead would be filled with uncertainties, but they welcomed the challenges with open hearts and open minds. For Emerson, the journey was no longer about escaping, it was about embracing the freedom to be himself and live life on his own terms. As the years went by, Emerson's story became an inspiration to others who felt trapped in lives that didn't reflect their true selves. His journal and photographs were eventually published, sharing the beauty and wisdom of his journey with a wider audience. Emerson Bennett, the modern-day nomad, had found not only his own freedom but also the power to inspire others to seek their own paths to happiness. And so, Emerson's journey continued, a testament to the transformative power of breaking free from the constraints of society and embracing the boundless possibilities of the open road. With a backpack of essentials, a camera, and an unwavering spirit, he lived each day to the fullest, forever grateful for the decision to walk away and discover the true essence of life.